Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Perkenalkan, nama saya Fuja Sukmadewi, Prodi Pendidikan Ekonomi kelas B pagi. Di sini saya akan mempresentasikan rangkuman dari mata kuliah bahasa Inggris. Yang pertama ada materi What is Grammar? Here's an old children's rhyme about the egg part of speech of English grammar. It gives you an idea of what grammar is about. Read and remember it. Sini ada noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, preposition, adverb, conjunction, dan interjection. Yang kedua ada the capital letters. The capital letters is also called a big letter or uppercase letter or sometimes just a capital. Di sini ada contohnya. When do you use a capital letters? As capital letters for the first letters in a sentence. The dog is barking. Come here. Always use a capital letters for the word I. I am 8 years old. Tom and I are good friends. Use a capital letters for the names of people. Alice, Tom, James, Kim, Snow White. As a capital letters for the names of place. National Museum, Bronx Zoo, London, Sacramento. Use a capital letters for festivals, holidays, days of the week, months of the year. New Year's Day, Christmas, Labor Day, Mother Day, Sunday, Monday, Friday, January, May, July, October. Yang ketiga ada nouns, common nouns. Nouns are divided into common nouns and proper nouns. Common nouns are words for people, animals, place, or things. These are words for people, they are common nouns. Sini ada contohnya artis, clown, akrobat, astronaut. Di sini ada animals, angel, zebra, deer, bird, crocodile, bear. Di sini ada tempat, beach, park, library, shop. Di sini ada nama benda, basket, drum, bed, cake, blanket, gate. Yang kedua ada proper nouns. Proper nouns are names for a particular people, place, or thing. They always begin with a capital letters. Sini ada contohnya Omar, Beethoven, Santa Claus, Lisa. Di sini ada contoh names of countries. American, European, Indian, dan lain-lain. Di sini ada nama tempat, Hong Kong, Ekpit, dan lain-lain. Di sini ada nama hari, day, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Ada nama bulan, month, January, February, March, April, May, Juni, July, Agustus, September, October, November, December. Sini ada contoh the Thames, Mount Everest, Niagara Falls, dan lain-lain. You often ask the before names of oceans, rivers, seas, and ranges of mountains. Mount means mountain. It is often asked in the names of mountains. For example, Mount Everest, Mount St. Helens. The written short form for mount is MT. For example, MT Everest, MT Fuji. Di sini ada perayaan Valentine Day, Father's Day, Halloween, New Year's Day. Yang ketiga ada singular noun. Nouns can be singular or plural. When you are talking about one person, animal, place, or thing, use a singular noun. A sheep, an owl, a train, a woman, a flower. Use a or an before singular nouns. Use an before words begin with vowels. A, E, I, O, U. For example, say an axe, an egg, dan lain-lain. But some words don't follow these rules. For example, use a, not an, before these words that begin with U. A uniform, a university. Use a before words begins with the other letters of the alphabet called consonants. For example, say a basket, a ball, a car, dan lain-lain. But some words don't follow this rule. For example, as a not a before this word that begin with H, and here, and horror, and honor. Yang keempat ada plural nouns. When you are talking about two or more people, animals, place, or thing as plural nouns. Most nouns are made plural by adding s at the end. Contohnya seperti star, stars, buds, mooks, fun, funs, tups. Some plural nouns NEAS. Buses, glasses, brushes, watches, foxes. When the last letters of singular noun are CH, SH, SSS, or X, you usually add AS to form the plural. Some plural nouns NEAS, butterfly, canary, lily, candy. Nouns like these are made plural by changing Y to I and ending AS. What if there is a vowel before the Y? In that case, and from the plural. Case, Turkey, Turkish, tries. If a noun ends in F, you often change F to V and add AS. Singular calf, plural calves. Singular elf, plural elves, dan lain sebagainya. Often nouns that end in F just need S to form the plural. Singular theft, plural thefts. For some words that end in F. The plural can be spelled in two different ways. Singular, draft, plural, drafts, or drafts. With some words that end in P, you change F to P and add S. Singular, knife, plural, knives. Singular, wife, plural, wives. But you only add S to giraffe to form the plural. If a noun ends in O, you just add S to form the plural. A rhino, rhinos. A kangaroo, kangaroos. But with some nouns that end in O, you add S to form the plural. A flamingo, flamingos. With some nouns that end in O, you can add either S or S to form the plural. Singular, a mango. Plural, mangoes. Plural, mangoes. Dan lain sebagainya. Some plural nouns don't follow the S rule. They don't end in S, ES, IES, or VS. Instead, the word changes from mouse, mic, goose, geese, foot, feet. The plural of the mouse that you use with your computer is either mic or mouses. Some plural nouns are the same as the singular noun. Sheep, sheep, render, render. Render. Fish, fish. You can ask fishes as the plural of fish when you are talking about different kinds of fish, all the fishes of the Pacific Ocean. Some nouns are always plural. Binoculars, goggles, pillars, jeans, spectacles. Another word for spectacles is glasses. You can make this plural noun singular by using a pair of binoculars, a pair of spectacles, a pair of goggles, dan lain-lain sebagainya. Collective nouns. Collective nouns are words for groups of people, animals, or things. These are nouns for groups of people, a family, a crew, and an orchestra. Many collective nouns can be used with a singular or a plural verb. For example, my family was happy to see me, or my family were happy to see me. But the following collective nouns always take a plural verb: cattle, people, the police. There are more collective nouns that are used for groups of people, animals, things. A band of musicians, a board of chickens, a school of fish, a team of players, a flight of steps. Masculine and feminine nouns. Masculine nouns are words for men and boys and male animals. Feminine nouns are words for women and girls and female animals. Bride, bridegroom, rooster, hen, lion, king, queen. Here are some more masculine and feminine nouns for people. Masculine actor, feminine actress, brother, masculine, sister, feminine, dan lain sebagainya. Masculine nouns belong to the masculine gender. Feminine nouns belong to the feminine gender. Here are some masculine and feminine nouns for male and female animals. Animals, chickens, male-nya rooster, female hen. Cattle, animals, male-nya bull, female cow, dan lain sebagainya. Noun, that, and, in, ess, and ess often belong to the feminine gender. For example, actress, stewardess, lioness, tigress, princess, waiters. Many nouns are used for both male and females. Doctor, dancer, hairdressers, canteens. We call these nouns common gender nouns. Words for things that are neither male nor female are called neuter nouns. Bench, leaves, mirror, fire, waterfall. Yang keempat ada pronouns. A pronoun is a word that takes the place of a common noun or a proper nouns. There are different kinds of pronouns. Personal pronouns. The words I, you, he, she, it, we, and they are called personal pronouns. They take the place of nouns and are used as the subject of the verb in a sentence. Contoh, my name is David. I am the youngest in the family. This is my father. He is a teacher. Dan lain-lain. The subject of a sentence is the personal, animal, place, or thing that does the action shown by the verb. The words me, you, him, her, it, us, and them are also personal pronouns. They also take the place of nouns. These pronouns are used as the object of the verb in a sentence. Contoh, I am standing on the head. Look at me. My mother is kind. Everybody likes her. Lisa, I told you, you tidy your bed, dan lain-lain. The object of a sentence is the personal, animal, place, or thing that receives an action shown by the verb. There are three groups of pronouns: first person, second person, and third person. The person speaking is called the first person. The first person pronouns are I or me in the singular and we or us in the plural. The personal spoken to is called the second person. The second person pronoun is you in both singular and plural. The personal or animal or thing spoken about is called the third person. The third person pronouns are he or him, she or her, and it in the singular, and they or them in the plural. The word I is always spelled with capital letters. The pronoun is used for men and boys. C for women and girls, and it for things and animals. Here is a table to help you. First person singular, subject I, object me. Second person singular, subject you, object you. Third person singular, subject he, object him. Subject she, object her. Subject it, object it. First person plural, subject we, object us. Second person plural, subject you, object you. Third person plural, subject they, object them. Reflexive pronouns. The words myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, or selfless, yourselves, and themselves are called reflexive pronouns. They refer to the person or animal that is the subject of the verb. Contoh, I made this cake myself. Be careful with the knife, you'll cut yourself, dan lain sebagainya. Here is a table to remind you about reflexive pronouns. First person, singular, I, me, myself. Plural, we, us, ourselves. Second person, singular, you, yourself. Plural, you, yourselves. Third person, singular, he, him, himself. They, them, themselves. She, her, herself. They, them, themselves. It, itself. They, them, themselves. Interrogative pronouns. The words who, whom, whose, what, and which are called interrogative pronouns. These pronouns are used to ask questions. Who is he talking to? Whom are you playing with? Which of these bags is yours? Whose is this umbrella? What is your dog's name? Who can be used as the object of a verb as well as the subject. Whom is used only as the object. For example, you can say, who are you playing with? Or whom are you playing with? Demonstrative pronouns. The word this, that, and those are called demonstrative pronouns. They are showing words. Those are goats. These are sheep. You, us, this, and this is. When you point to things near you, you ask that and those. When you point to things farther away. Demonstrative pronoun can be singular or plural. Singular this, plural this is. Singular that, plural those. Yang kelima ada adjective. An adjective is a describing word. It tells you more about a noun. An adjective usually appears before the noun is described. Sometimes, the adjective appears after the noun later in the sentence. A smart dog, an old building, a tall basketball player, a low fence. Adjective endings. Adjectives have different endings. Some adjectives end in full or less. Harmless people, playful puppies. An adjective that ends in less is the opposite of the some adjective that ends in full. For example, careful, careless, careful, careless, useful, useless, harmful, harmless. The full ending means having a lot of something. For example, painful, having a lot of pain, hopeful, having a lot of hope. The last ending means without, for example, leftless without levers, slaveless without slavers. Some adjective end in ye. A stormy sea, a moody pet. Some adjective end in eve. An expensive necklace. Talkative pupils. Pupils. Some adjective end in ing. A cunning fox. Declining sunshine. Some adjectives and in Elia, a daily newspaper, a friendly police officer. Many adverbs also end in Elia. Here are some adjectives with the endings able, al, and ebles, able, is, and aus. A broken chair, a famous pop singer, a poisoner's snake. Kinds of adjectives. There are different kinds of adjectives. Some adjectives describe the qualities of nouns. A cold drink, a hot bath, an ugly master, a first dog, a lot crash. Some adjectives tell you which place or country a person or thing comes from or belongs to. They are called adjectives of origin. Chinese kung fu, an Indian temple, a Mexican hat, Dutch clock, a Filipino shirt. Some adjectives tell you the color of things. Please get me some white paint. The sky is gray. Your hands are black. Some adjectives tell you the size of the nouns they describe. A huge balloon, but some sumo wrestler, a thin boy, a short man. The word tall describes people and narrow, abstract adjective. For example, you can say a tall girl, a tall bookcase. The word high describes bigger of or wider objects that reach a great height. For example, you can say a high mountain, a high wall. Numbers are adjectives to tell you how many people, animals, or things there are. Sometimes they are called adjective or quantity. 2 princes, 3 princes, your mermaid, 5 witches, 7 elves, 1 giant, 6 fairies, 9 dwarfs, 8 puppets, 10 angels. Other adjectives tell you something about quantity without giving you the exact number. A lot of books, some soldiers, a few cups, a few puppies. Adjectives that tell you about quantity are also called quantifying determinants. Comparison of adjectives. When you compare two people or things, use the comparative form. The adjective lots of comparative adjectives and in R. Fast, faster, small, smaller, bright, brighter. The word then is often used with comparative adjective. For example, you might say Jack is taller than John. A sport car is faster than a motorbike. Use the superlative form of an adjective to compare three or more nouns. Lots of superlative N is S. Dark, darker, darkest. Thick, thicker, thickest. Long, longer, longest. You often end before the superlative form. For example, you say, Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world. Peter is the tallest boy in his class. With adjective that end in at, er to form the comparative and st to form the superlative. For example, close, comparative closer, superlative closest, closest. Some adjectives have only one syllable and with a consonant and have a single vowel before the consonant. With this adjective, double the last letter before adding er to form the comparative and ast to form the superlative. For example, big, comparative bigger, superlative biggest. Some adjectives have two syllables and n in y. With this adjective, change the y to e. Then add er to form the comparative and ast to form the superlative. For example, busy, comparative busier, superlative busiest. With some adjectives, you ask more to make the comparative form and most to make the superlative form. Beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. Adjectives that form their comparative and superlative with more and most are usually adjective with two or more syllables or sounds. For example, active, expensive, beautiful, famous, dan lain-lain. The comparative and superlative forms of some adjectives are completely different words. Good, better, best. Little, less, least. With this adjective, you don't add er or more to form the comparative or ast or most to form the superlative. Yang keenam ada determiners. Determiners are words such as this, thus, my, there, which. They are special adjectives that are used before nouns. The articles, the words a and the belong to this group of words called determiners. The words and an are called indefinite articles. You can ask them with singular nouns to talk about any singular person or thing. Can you hear a bird singing? Do you wear a uniform to school? The article an is usually used before words beginning with vowels. The article is used before words beginning with consonants. The word the is called the definite article, used before a noun when you are talking about a certain person or thing. The telephone is ringing. Tom has won the race. Where's the car? I think she is under the bed. The ice is melting. You also ask the before a noun when there is only one. For example, the sun, the moon, the sky, the front door of the house. Demonstrative determiners, the words this, that, this, then those, and those are determiners. They are used to tell which thing or person you mean. These words are called demonstrative determiners or demonstrative adjectives. I am keeping this book. I am selling this book. James lives in this house. You ask this and this to point to people or things near you. You ask that and this to point to people or things that are further from you. You ask this and that before singular noun. You ask this and those before plural nouns. Here's a table to help you remember the ruler. Singular, this, plural, this. This is singular that, plural, those. Interrogative determiners. Use the words what, which, and was before nouns to ask about people or things. These words are called interrogative determiners or interrogative adjectives. What size do you wear? What kind of bird is that? Possessive determiners. The words my, your, his, her, its, or their are called possessive determiners or possessive adjectives. Use these words before nouns to say who something belongs to. I lent Margaret my guitar. The dentist asked his patient to open her mouth. Here is a table to help you remember the possessive determiners. First person, singular my, plural or. Second person, your, singular, your, plural. Third person, his singular, their, plural. Her, singular, their, plural. Its, singular, theirs, plural. Yang ketujuh ada verbs and tenses. Most verbs are action words. They tell you what people, animals, or things are doing. Knock, push, climb, dig, read, drop. The simple present tense. The simple present tense expresses a general truth or a customary action. Uncle Joe wears glasses. The sun rises in the east. Ducks love waiters. The children go to school by bus. Use the simple present tense to talk about things that are planned for the future. Melanie starts school tomorrow. Next week, I go to summer camp. The train departs in 5 minutes. Am, is, and are. The words am, is, are also verbs, but they are not action words. They are the simple present tense of the verb be. Use am with the pronouns I and is with the pronouns he. She and it use are with the pronouns you, we, and they. It is a donkey. It is not a horse. It is very hot today. It is not very comfortable. Here is a table to help you remember how to ask am, is, and are. First person, singular I am, plural we are. Second person, singular you are, plural you are. Third person, singular he is, plural they are. Singular she is, plural they are. It is singular, they are plural. Learn this short form called contraction. I am, I'm, you are, your, he is, his, dan lain sebagainya. In question, ask around as a contraction of am not. For example, you can say, I'm taller than you, are not I. But in a statement, you say, I'm not as old as you. Use the verb is with singular nouns and are with plural nouns. The camel is a desert animal. Use is and are with the word there to say what you can see and hear. There is a castle on the hill. There are some clouds in the sky. Learn this contraction. There is, there's. The present progressive tenses. When do you ask the present progressive tense? To talk about action in the parents, in the present, or things that are still going on are happening now. I am writing a letter. Mom is knitting a letter for Sally. The phone is ringing. From the present progressive tenses, like this. Am, this present participle, is plus present participle are plus present participle. The present participle is the form of a verb ending with ing. For example, show plus ing, showing. Come plus ing, coming. You have to double the last letter of some verb before you add ing. For example, get plus ing, getting. Dan lain-lainnya. Notice that the verb above are all short verbs of just one syllable. They all end with a consonant such as BD, GMPT, and have only one vowel before the consonant. If a verb end is a, you usually have to drop the a before you add ing. For example, des plus ing, casing, dan lain-lain. Use the present progressive tense to talk about things you have planned to do or things that are going to happen in the future. From the present progressive tense, use am, is, and are as helping verbs or auxiliary verbs. When are you taking me to the zoo? We are having a barbecue later this evening. Have and has. The verbs have and has are used to say what people own or possess. They are also used to talk about things that people do or get, such as illnesses. These words are the simple present tense of the verb have. Peter has a sore knee. We have breakfast at 7 a.m. Monkeys have long tails. Use has with he, she, it, and with singular pronouns. Use have with I, you, we, they, and with plural nouns. Here is a table to help you remember the rules. First person, I have singular, we have plural. Second person, you have singular, you have plural. Third person, he has singular, they have plural. She has singular, they have plural. It has singular, they have plural. Learn this contraction. I have left, you have, you You be, he has his, she has his, it has its, dan lain-lain. The present perfect tense. Use the present perfect tense to talk about happening in the past that explain or affect the present. The verbs have and has are used as helping or auxiliary verbs to form the present perfect tense. It's been very wet today. Kim's cut her finger. To form the present perfect tense, join have or has to the past participle of the verb. Have plus past participle, has plus past participle. The past participle of a regular verb usually ends in ed, just like the simple past tense. But the past participles of irregular verb don't follow this rule. The simple past tense. Use the simple past tense to talk about things that happened in the past. The simple past tense is also used to talk about things that happen in stories. The wicked queen gave Snow White a poisoned apple. Dan lain-lain. Regular and irregular verb. The simple past tense of most verbs ends in "-ed". These verbs are called regular verbs. Who closed all the windows? I snowed last night. The simple past tense is usually formed by adding "-ed" to the verb. For example, jump plus "ed" jumped. If the verb ends with "a", just add "d". For example, agree "d" plus "d" sama dengan agreed. Remember this spelling rules. You must double the last letter of some verb before adding "ed". For example, fun plus "ed", fainted, dan lain-lain. Notice that the verb above are all short verbs of just one syllable. They all end with a consonant such as bd and minipeti and have only a single vowel before the consonant. With verb that end in y, change the y to e before adding "ed". For example, bury plus "ed", buried, dan lain sebagainya. The simple past form of some verb does not end in "ed". Such verbs are called irregular verbs. The simple past tense of some irregular verb does not change at all. David hurt his foot when he jumped over the drain. Most irregular verbs, however, take a difference from in the simple past tense. Some bend the stick in two. Some shoot and scored a goal. Was and were. The verb was and were are also forms of the verb be. Was in the simple past tense of am and is. This was with the pronouns I, he, she, and it, and with singular nouns. Edison was a famous inventor. Where is the simple past tense of are? Use were with the pronouns you, we, and they, and with plural nouns. These were my best jeans. Here is a table to help you remember the rulers. First person, I was singular, we were plural. Second person, you were singular, you were plural. Third person, he was singular, they were plural. She was singular, they were plural. It was the singular, they were plural. Here is a table to show you the different form of the verb be. First person singular, I'm simple person, was simple past. Second person singular are simple present. Were simple past. Third person singular is simple present, was simple past. First person plural are simple present, were simple past. Second person plural are simple present, were simple past. Three person plural are simple present, were simple past. Learn the contraction. Was not, mendengar was not, were not, weren't. The past progressive tenses. As the past progressive tense to talk about action that we are going and at a certain moment in the past. Mary was waiting for the bus when Peter passed by. You form the past progressive tense like this: was plus present participle, were plus present participle. In the example above, was and were are called helping verb or auxiliary verb. They help to form the past progressive tense when you join them to the present participle, the form of verb ending in ing. For example, Ben was doing his homework. Peter was making a model of a bridge. The future tense. Use the future tense for things that have not happened yet but are going to happen. Use the verb shall and will as helping verbs or auxiliary verb to form the future tense. I shall be 8 years old next year. They will finish the job next week. Use shall or will with I and we. Use will with you, he, she, it, and they. Here is a table to help you remember the rules. First person, I shall singular, we shall plural. I will singular, we will plural. Second person, you will singular, you will plural. Third person, he will singular, they will plural. She will singular, they will plural. It will singular, they will plural. There are other ways of talking about future action and happenings. You can use going to. I think I'm going to be sick. You can also use the simple present tense to talk about things that have been arranged for the future. The bus leaves in 10 minutes. Sekian dari saya. Mohon maaf apabila pembacaan menggunakan bahasa Inggris saya masih kurang bagus. Mohon dimaklumkan karena saya masih proses belajar. Sekian dari saya. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.